You're listening to The American Entrepreneur with Ron Morris. To learn more, visit TAEradio.com.
Let's get right to our first guest. I am very honored and thrilled to have with us today Koplovitz. Kay, are you there?
I am.
There had to be, at the beginning, just enormous business problems and logistical problems and marketing. It just everything in the world was probably coming at you at the speed of light. Tell us about some of the bigger hurdles you had to overcome just to get this thing off the ground.
Let me tell you an interesting story, and that is the story about Major League Baseball. So
right.
I went after, and George Steinbrenner is in the news. Of course, he passed away this week, and he was a giant in the sports industry. And so I went to George Steinbrenner to get, after getting 125 sporting events from Madison Square Garden, I needed more because I wanted to have a live event on every night. And I went to George Steinbrenner because the Yankees are the Yankees. They were, the best-known baseball team even then, and the most dominant. And so I went to talk to George Steinbrenner to make an offer to televise the Yankee games. And I negotiated a contract with him, which actually wasn't that difficult to negotiate with him. And it kind of, the payment scheme was such that it was a guaranteed payment, and it got to be more as the network grew. They got like 2 cents a subscriber, for, in the monthly fee to help us grow with us in the network. So that was all great. So we did our first game in April of 1979, the Yankees against the Boston Red Sox. And the next day I get a call. It goes to extra innings, a very exciting event. The Yankees win it in extra innings. Next day I get a call from Boyd Kuhn, who was then the commissioner of Major League Baseball. And he said, I see you televised the Yankee game last night. And I said, oh, I did, and I'm so excited. I'm getting all revved up. He said, that's not exactly why I'm calling you, Ms. Koplovitz. And I said, oh, why are you calling? And he said, I'm calling to tell you you don't have the rights to televise those games. And I said, you've got to be kidding me. I've got the signed contract right here with George Steinbrenner. And he said, yes, well, that's my point, Ms. Koplovitz. He didn't have the right to sell them to you.
Oh, God.
George was such a wily operator. He wanted to push the envelope because baseball teams could televise in their home territory and in the white areas where there were no other teams.
But further.
They couldn't intrude on other teams' territories.
And he knew that? Of course he knew that.
Of course he knew that. And so here's where, naivete got me in a little bit of trouble. So I went, and my husband was a communications lawyer, so then I went and asked my husband, I said, geez, Boyd Kuhn just called me, and he said he was going to get a restraining order to prevent me from televising any other games, and I don't have the rights. And I tell him this whole story, and he said, well, there are league rules, and Steinbrenner may have signed the contract knowing very well he was in violation of club rules. Now, bear in mind, in those days, cable wasn't in most cities. We were mostly in white areas, but there were certainly some city, franchises that imposed on the rights areas, territories, individual teams. So I went back to I told Commissioner Kuhn, I said to him I'd call him back because I really didn't know what else to say. So I go back to my office and I call him back. And I said to him, I'm going on and on. Entrepreneurs were also enthusiastic about our products and our services, and I'm so enthused with the Yankees, a team that I really didn't like because they were always beating my team, the Milwaukee Braves, when I was growing up. But anyway, I'm telling him how everybody loves the Yankees and it's going to be great for baseball and take baseball into. He wasn't buying anything, so I stopped. I said, okay, I'll trade you. He said, silence. I got the sense. He said, trade me. And I said, I'll trade you this Yankee contract for a Major League Baseball contract. Oh. I got silence. I sat. Then he said, I'll see you in my office tomorrow morning, Ms. Koplovitz, at 9 o'clock. And that's how I traded the Yankees for Major League Baseball.
Oh, what a great story.
To hear more of the American Entrepreneur, Ron Morris, talking business, visit TAEradio.com.